Hello and welcome to the second instructional video for the Highway Safety Improvement Program online reporting tool, also known as the HSIP ORT. The first video in this series covered the basic navigational features for the HSIP ORT. In this video, we'll take a closer look at how to respond to the various types of questions you will encounter in the HSIP report and the Railway Highway Crossings Program, or RHCP report. We'll also walk through an example of responding to a multi-step question. This video is applicable to state reporters and super reporters who work on the annual reports for their states. The HSIP ORT features multiple question formats to help you record specific information in the way that makes the most sense. We'll go over the different question types in a moment, but first, let's see what they all have in common. For every question in the HSIP and RHCP reports, you'll see the report section, question number, and question name. To the right of the question name is a blue question mark icon. If you aren't sure what a question is asking, hover your mouse over this icon. A text box will appear with additional details about the question and the type of response that's expected. In the toolbar directly under the section tabs, there are icons for Save, Complete, and Undo. As a reporter or super reporter, you have two ways to save your work in the HSIP ORT. The first way to save is by clicking the Save icon. This saves your response for the current question and remains on the same screen. Alternately, you can click on Next Question or Previous Question to save all work for the current question and go to the previous or next question. Navigating away from a question using any other methods, such as clicking on a different tab or using the Browser Back button, will cause you to lose unsaved work. When you are satisfied with your response to a question, check the Complete checkbox. Marking a question complete does not save your work. It helps you keep track of your progress in HSIP ORT by indicating that you have fully responded to a question. To advance the Report Progress bar or % complete on the home page, you need to check the Complete box and save your work using one of the methods we just saw. Finally, the Undo button reverts to your last save point and deletes all unsaved work. Now we'll go over the different types of questions in the HSIP ORT. There are 6 types of question functions: drop-down, select one or more, large text, calendar input, fill in the blank, and table. Drop-down questions have a pre-populated list of responses to choose from. You may only choose one response for drop-down questions. Select one or more questions also let you select responses from a list. If the question has radio buttons, you can select one option from the list. If the question has checkboxes, you can select multiple options. In either case, if you select Other as your response, then you should explain your choice in the text box to the right. Large text questions allow you to enter a text response. The text box has basic word processing and formatting capabilities, including spell check. You can also use the copy, cut, and paste functions. For calendar input questions, select the appropriate date from the pop-up calendar. For fill-in-the-blank questions, enter the appropriate value or response in the blank. Finally, table questions are used for data entry. For this question type, you may have the option to choose between manually entering data using inline editing or form editing, or uploading data using a template. For every question type except large text questions, you will also see a text box for additional comments. The additional comments feature is optional and allows a reporter to add information to clarify or support the question response. As you can see, the majority of question types in the HSIP ORT should be familiar and straightforward, but a few are more complex. In the remainder of this video, we will break down the step-by-step process for entering data into several table-type questions so that you'll be prepared when you encounter them in the HSIP ORT. Now, let's take a look at the process for using manual data entry to respond to a table question with inline editing, using question 32 in the HSIP report as an example. This question aims to gather information about safety performance measures by roadway functional classification and ownership. If there are any question-specific instructions below the question title, read them carefully before responding to the question. In this case, the instructions tell you to select whether you want to work with functional classification or roadway ownership, so click the appropriate button. Before entering data, you should make any changes, if needed, to the data years or performance measure categories in the table. The question instructions explain how to add performance measures. To change the years, click Edit Years. For this question type, you can choose to enter 5-year rolling average data or annual data directly in the system, or upload a template with your data. Select the appropriate option using the radio buttons above the 5-year average performance measure table. In this demonstration, we will enter the 5-year rolling average data, but the process would be very similar for annual data. First, select a year to start entering data. In this example, we are entering the 5-year rolling averages for the number and rate of fatal and serious injuries by functional classification for 2017. To enter your state's performance measure data for each functional classification type, click onto the cell you want to edit and type in your response. The table is similar to a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and you can tab through the table to enter data. The red triangles that appear in the upper left corner of the cells indicate that the information in those cells is not yet saved. Pressing Save Changes saves your changes to the entire table. Pressing Undo will revert back to the last save point. The Delete button erases all data in a row. When you are finished entering the data for 2017, click another year to enter data for that year. When you have entered and saved your data for the remaining rows and years in the table, you should add any clarification or supporting information if necessary, using the additional comments box located below the tables. Finally, press Save or Previous or Next Question to save your work for the entire question, and check the Complete box when you are finished working on your response. The other method for responding to a table with inline editing question is using a template. For this example, we will use question 43 from the HSIP report. Once you have read the question-specific instructions and made any necessary changes to the table, select the radio button to enter annual data using the template. Then, download the Microsoft Excel template. To the right of the Download Template button, you will see the date that the template was last updated. Make sure you are using the most current version. Do not make any adjustments to the template format except for entering your state's data, since altering the format could cause errors when you try to upload the template. The Microsoft Excel file will open in protected mode, so first enable editing, then enter your state's data into the appropriate cells in the Excel sheet. When you're ready to save your file, give it a descriptive file name. The recommended naming format is the report name followed by the question number. Please do not include any special characters in the file name. For this example, the file name will be HSIP Report Question 43. Start the upload process by clicking on the Select Files button. Find and open your HSIP Report Question 43 file, and then press Upload to upload the information. Your screen will refresh, and both the 5-year average performance measure and annual performance measure tables should be populated with the information from the uploaded template. Check the tables to make sure your data uploaded correctly. If you see something you need to change, you can manually edit the uploaded data using the same manual entry process we described earlier. Make sure to press Save Changes to save any manual edits. If necessary, add comments to clarify your response or provide supporting information by entering it in the large text box below the tables. Finally, don't forget to press Save or Previous or Next Question to save your work for the entire question, and then check the Complete box when you are finished working on your response. This concludes the instructional video on responding to questions in the HSIP ORT. If you have further questions on the HSIP ORT, please view the HSIP ORT User Manual, other instructional videos, or contact hsip.ort@dot.gov for additional assistance.